In this video, we're making this beauty. Oh, I'm gonna take you step by step on how to make this gorgeous necklace. What's going on, my fellow jewelers? You know, I usually do like really chic and easy pieces. This is a bit of probably like a medium difficulty. Now, I've been thinking about this jewelry piece for like a while now, but I didn't know quite what bead to pick. And so I had you guys pick on social media. So these were the three that I asked you guys to choose from. The first one is this one. Oh my goodness. Aren't these so pretty? I love it. I love the markings on it. These are like a flat oval. And then the next one y'all had a choice of were the turquoise. Oh my gosh. I mean, like, isn't turquoise always like the best? I love turquoise. And I love the markings on these ones. So that was the second choice. But then this actually won for this video. This one, the I call it the ice blue, because I just feel like I'm in Alaska looking at glaciers when I look at this, and I love it. So this is the bead we're using today. All three of these beads are on my website. So if you don't like what bead I'm using and you want one of these, you can go check out my website for the beads. So let's dive right in right now to show you how to make this gorgeous necklace. So the first thing you want to do before you even start doing your wire wrap, that's right, we're doing a wire wrap today with a 20 gauge. You're going to want to cut all of your chain. You're going to want to cut all of these. I did an inch and a half. I did an inch and a half for most of them, and then I did 4 where I just did an inch, and I'll tell you why later on. Okay, so tip of the day for you, when you're wanting to cut precise, absolutely precise, this works so beautifully. So you're going to want to measure your first one exactly, right? Like I wanted 1.5 inches, so I did. But then you're going to take it and you're going to put it on a head pin. You're going to put it, well, this is actually a loop pin, whatever. Put it on your head pin, and you're going to take your spool and you're going to not cut it off your spool yet. You're going to actually hang it just like this. And you're gonna go in with your cutter tool. I have my handy dandy cutter tool right here. And I'm gonna go and I'm gonna look. And I'm gonna cut, and it actually cuts exactly. Now, if you cut too small, you're gonna have to start over. You want these chains exactly the same way. You have to start over, but you can do, I did like 14 of these all in a row, and I just had them all dangling off. So you can cut, this is an easy way to cut your chain to make it exactly precise for all of them, the same length for all of them. I love it, I love this tip. So I have already cut all my chain. I've cut all my chain. They're all 1.5 inches except the last 4. So once you cut all your chain, you're going to want to start wire wrapping your bead. Oh my gosh, these are so gorgeous. I love them. So I'm doing about 4 inches. As you can tell, I'm just doing it by my eye, right? I'm not even like really measuring it. So the first thing I want to do is I'm going to take my round nose pliers. I'm gonna go probably like, this is probably about 1 inch. So like you have 3 inches here, 1 inch here. You're gonna bend it down at a 90-degree angle. I wanna make a kind of small medium loop. So see where it's at on here, how this is the smaller side loops, and that it goes to bigger loops. Like this is where you make your bigger loops. So I'm gonna make a small medium. I'm gonna show you like this. I'm gonna put it around like so. And then I'm going to move it. Do you see that? I pivoted it, and I'm gonna go like that, right? So it makes a loop. It makes a lady with a scarf is what I was told. Isn't that so cute? But before we wrap it up, before we wrap it around, we need to put our chain on. I love making this necklace with more than 1 chain. I'm doing 2 chains for this necklace. I did think I could do 3. If you like a lot of chain, I just feel like more chain just makes it more like pop and chic and stuff. And so I would go to 3 chain, but I'm just doing 2 for this one. And so we have our lady with her scarf, right? I'm going to take 2 chain and put them on already. We need to put them on before we close this baby up, okay? So we got to put the chain on like this, and we got to do the other one as well, like that. And I made it too tight, so I'm gonna have to kind of like just open it up just a little bit so the chain goes on it. Do you see that? Yes. And then now I need my pliers. I need my snub nose or long nose pliers, and I'm going to hold the loop part, right? When I hold the loop part, I'm gonna take my round nose pliers. Now you could have this be smaller, like see this, you could have this be smaller, but I find if I have more wire, it's easier for me to loop around. Like I'm like, oh, I want to save wire, but I find if I have a lot of wire to hold on to and loop around, then my wrapping looks a lot better. So I'm gonna hold here and I'm gonna start looping this tightly. And if it doesn't want to, I'm gonna adjust it like that. And I'm gonna loop it 2 or 3 times. So I'm going to go, that's about 2. I'm gonna do 1 more like that, just like that, okay? Yeah, isn't that looking good? Okay, so now I want to take my cutter tools that can cut really close. My brain is not working. I don't even know what to call those. And so then see this piece right here? I'm going to bring it down and I'm going to just put it in as tight as it will go so it doesn't stick out and poke anybody, okay? You have to put your chain on before you finish that loop. If you don't, you have to start over. I did that when I started making this necklace. I totally forgot to put the chain on and I'm like, oh my gosh, I gotta start over already. So make sure that you put your chain on before you finish off your loop, okay? And then I'm gonna put my bead on, like so. Oh, it's gonna be so pretty, look at that. And then we're going to do another, we're gonna bend it down, and I'm going to do the same thing. See how it's bent? I'm going to bring it around like this, and then I'm gonna pivot my pliers like so. You know what I forgot to do? You know what I totally forgot to do? I totally forgot to put the wire, I totally forgot to put the chain on. I just told you, put the chain on before you wrap it, but I'm just too busy just talking to you guys and stuff. Okay, here we go. So if you do that before you even cut, here's a tip for you. You can go back and unloop it. Oh my gosh. I really get distracted with you guys when I'm just talking away and just doing my thing. I really get distracted with you guys. I might have to start. Okay. That's so funky. Okay, so now, yep, I get distracted. I am so distractible. Okay, I gotta put my chain on. Ooh, look at that, perfect. Okay, put my chain on, just like so. Okay, I'm gonna hold it. Yes, that looks funky, but that's okay. And I'm going to grab it and loop it around, No one has to know besides you and me. No one has to know. It's all funky. You know what? You could start over. I don't feel like starting over. I'm gonna loop it around. Okay, and now I'm going to cut it as close as I can. Be careful when you're cutting, because you can have it just at the right angle where you actually either cut your chain or you cut your loop and you have to start over. And so make sure that when you're cutting really close to cut that extra wire off, that you're just cutting that piece of the wire and not your loop as well. I've done that where I've cut my loop. It's awful. It's awful and you gotta start over. I mean, it's not the end of the world, but it is not fun. Okay, and now I've gotta make sure that my wire is like this. You can't even tell. You can't even tell I messed up. That's right. Can't even tell. Okay, so then I want to show you, if you're like, Des, I'm over this wire wrapping thing. I can't do it. I don't like it. You know, I want to show you a different way you can do this necklace, just real quick, just to show you. So instead of doing your 20 gauge wire, you can grab a head pin, right? You can grab a head pin and you can make a loop. If you've never made a loop, go check out my tutorial. I'm just gonna do this real quick just to show you an example. I'm gonna loop it, just like that. You don't even have to put your chain on to begin with. You can do all this and then put your chain on. So if you don't like wire wrapping, then do a loop on both sides, like that. Do a loop on both sides and have all your loops be like that. And I have 6 beads and make 6 beads with 2 loops on both sides, and then put your chain on. Like, there's different ways you can do this necklace. If you don't like the wire wrapping and it drives you nuts, then just make a loop on both sides, very simple loops. Like, that's all you have to do, okay? So just wanted to put that out there for you. Okay, so now we're gonna need to connect another, another bead on here, right? So what we do is, we're gonna do another 4 inches, okay? What we're gonna do is right there, about right there. We're gonna 90-degree angle it like this. We're going to bend this baby around. I'm going to shift my pliers like so, right? And we got to put the chain on. You gotta put the chain, don't forget the chain. Don't forget the chain. But this time we're gonna use chain from this guy, okay? We're gonna use chain from this guy. And so I'm gonna put the chain from this through here, right? Through here. Open it up like so, okay? Like that. Do you see that? Yes. And now I'm gonna do where I'm gonna wrap it around, okay? And we're holding the loop with these pliers, with these snub nose of mine, and I'm going to wrap it around. That's an ugly wrap. Sometimes when there's stuff dangling, it distracts me, and I make a really ugly wrap, but we're going to. And if it's not too close together, you can squish it like this. You can get this pliers, kind of squish it. Do that on this side, kind of squish them together like so. And then I'm just going to, I'm gonna cut off the excess like that. Ooh, it just went flying. And I am going to put, oh, this is sometimes, you know, I'm way better at the simple loops than I am at this. I have not been doing this a very long time. I've probably been doing about a couple years. I do like the look. I do like the integrity of the necklace after this, but I'm definitely a work in progress, okay? So do you see that? We're just doing that. And then we're going to put another bead on, like so. We're gonna put another bead on. And we're going to do the same thing and add more chain. Oh my goodness, do you see that? And then, so I looped it around. I'm gonna shift it. I'm gonna put it like this, okay? And then I'm gonna get chain on. This necklace, usually I do really chic and easy, like really easy stuff. This necklace is a bit harder. It takes a bit more time, but it's gonna look so gorgeous at the end. You got this, like just keep going, all right? All right, okay. All right, okay. So then I'm putting both my chain on, like so. You wanna make sure it's in the loop. You wanna make sure it's in the loop because that one just went down back under the loop, okay? So we're gonna do that. And then we're going to wrap it around. And then I'm going to, the end piece, I'm gonna squeeze in there. Okay, look at that. Look at that, look at that, look at that. So now I'm gonna finish up and I'm going to add 5 more beads and then I wanna show you the last beads that you would put on both sides, okay? So go ahead, do a couple more and then we'll get to the next step, okay? So I've made my necklace except the last 2 beads on there because the last 2 beads, they have chain on the end that's gonna be shorter than the other ones. For me, because it just didn't work right for my neck to do 1.5 all the way around, the last one's on the end, so look at this. So see here, this is the last bead's gonna be on here and then there's gonna be chain. And so this chain is smaller than the rest of these. So I am going to, once again, I'm gonna do what I usually do and fast forward and then I'll show you the end step, okay? I'll show you the last thing we're gonna do to put on the clasp. Okay, so I did the last ones, the ones are done, and now let's put on the clasp and we are done with this beauty. Oh, I love it. Okay, so I got my jump ring. So I got my jump ring. This jump ring needs to go through both the chain. So if you have 3 chain, then you need to put all 3 chain on. It just looks nicer. It just finishes it up. And so we're putting 2 of the chain on. And now this side with this jump ring, we're just going to close it up. Again, when you close up a jump ring, make sure they're touching each other and there's no gaps or it'll fall apart, okay? And then we're gonna do the same thing to the other side, like so, except we're gonna put the lobster clasp on. Now the lobster clasp, make sure you try it out first before you put on because it's really a pain when you put it on and it jams or it doesn't work because not every lobster clasp you buy is gonna work properly, okay? So just check them out first. So checking it out, perfect. I'm gonna put on our jump ring So put it through both chains like we did the last one. Finally, oh my gosh, that took forever. Okay, and put your lobster clasp on and then close it up. And that, my fellow jewelers, is how you make this gorgeous, beautiful multi-chain necklace. Okay, so before I get off, you know I love praying for you guys. I love praying for my viewers, and I have to share this testimony with my nephew. I just feel it's so powerful. So he calls me up, he's like, Annie does, I'm fine, there's no need to worry, because he rarely calls me, right? So when he calls me, it freaks me out. And he's like, I have to tell you this God story. So he said he was going to his college, he has to commute to his college, and it snowed big time, like so much. So when he was pulling into a parking spot, he got stuck, like absolutely stuck before he got in. And so some people came and pushed him into the parking spot, but he knew he was still stuck. He knew that even though they parked it, he was still stuck. And he had classes all day long until late afternoon. And so all day he was praying, Lord, I really need help getting unstuck. Like he was crying out to God. Like that was his first thing, crying out to God. And then he's like, how am I going to do this? How am I going to get unstuck? Like, what am I going to do? I don't really have friends in the area. Like I don't have friends at the college. He just started the college. And, so he's praying all day, God, I need help. God, I need help. Well, on his way to his car, close to his car, there was a garbage can full of cardboard, and he's freaking out like Annie does. It was like full. And for those that don't know about snow and getting stuck, if you put cardboard under the wheel, it gives it traction to help you get unstuck. And so right there was a garbage can. It hadn't been there before. It hadn't been full of cardboard until he got there the very last, after his very last class. And so he's able to get the cardboard and get himself unstuck. And he just knew it was God that had someone put all that cardboard there to get unstuck. And for some of us, first, we don't always ask God first when we have a problem, right? And that's the first thing he did was he goes, God, I need your help. And second, we don't always recognize when God is helping us. That's the thing, right? Like God helps us. He sends cardboard in our life and we think, well, that's just a nice coincidence. Oh, that's nice that someone put it there and stuff. No, like God can do that. God can arrange anything to put help in your way, right? To put help in your path and stuff. But I want to encourage you, first ask God to help you. And then when a solution comes, don't just dismiss it as, oh, that's just a coincidence. Just know that God heard you and he answered you. So I'm going to pray for you. God, I thank you for the example of my nephew. I thank you, God, that you want us to come to you with our problems, big or small, that you care about every detail of our lives. And so, Lord, I pray for my viewers that they would ask you even for the littlest thing, God, from their business, to their family, to the job, to whatever it is, social media, whatever it is, God, and that you, when you answer, that they would recognize it was you that loved them, that heard them, and that answered. In Jesus' name, amen. All right, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Guess what? I'm going to catch you in the next video. Go look at them. Go right here. Go check it out. All right, I'll talk to you later. Bye.